Doug here. Doug Herring, Doug Mystic Eye on Board Game Geek. Getting ready to take our, I think it's going to be our 6th episode of Return of the Heroes. Hopefully, it looks like the game is heating up. A lot of things are happening. I'm not going to do a big recap, just say that we got two of our heroes are well. Actually, all of them have the first part of their quest completed and are heading into the second part of their quest. Some have some side tracks to make and will go elsewhere before they get there, but others are going to get there pretty soon, and then they will be able to potentially take on the Nameless. We have everybody's gotten some better luck. The Warrior was doing really well in the beginning, but some of the others are starting to catch up a little bit, getting some good items, getting some good experience, things of that nature. But anyway, let's get started, and we are going to get rolling with Aegon Stormblade, our fighter, and his next turn. Well, here's Aegon. You can see he's doing pretty well. He's got a couple of tasks to do. He still has to escort the White Stag, but he's kind of gone away from that direction. We're going to have to head back that way. He wanted to complete his main mission because it's going to help him a lot to do that. He's got a couple of things going on. He needs to visit the house of another player and bring a monk to a monastery up in the north, little church, which is close by. Anyway, he's got a lot of money too, so there's a big market he can start up north as well. But let's get going, and we're going to get to the board and take his turn. The biggest problem he has right now is he needs to get into this temple, this large convent to drop off his charge, Daphne, but he's having trouble getting in there. So let's see why that is, and we'll see what we got to do about it. Okay, so here is Aegon, right here. He has to get into this monastery, this big church here at N5. And to do that, he's got to roll a 5 or less to get in, find the secret entrance into the temple itself. Now he's getting fairly frustrated with Daphne because he can't get in there and she's not helping him to figure out how, even though she needs to be dropped off there. So we're going to go to the dice bowl because I mean the first thing he's got to do is attempt to get in. He's got to roll a 5 or less on 2 dice. So the one drawback to the fighter is he doesn't have any particular skills like the other character classes do to help him with finding secret paths in that. He's just got to make it. So let's roll his dice and see if he can. Alright, so he got a 4, so after failing last time, he does succeed this time and gets into the temple. So let's go back to the board and see what that does. Aegon also strategically placed this thief here because he wants to beat him and get some more money from him. He's chasing the thief around gaining money. But let's take care of one thing at a time. So first off, this was his epic adventure that he needed to complete. Now you can see that he had to overpower some ghouls, which he did that, and then he took, using the key that he took from the ghouls, he was able to open the dungeon and rescue Daphne. That's the noble Daphne, and then from her ghastly cell in which a sinister witch was holding her, and then escort her back to. There's a mistypo in the card here, to the convent at N5. So we've done that. So all of our lost lives will be healed here, and from now on, a higher force will watch over you, over our house. Receive a precious stone as a reward. So we're going to receive a precious stone as a reward. I'll show you what that's like. He also gets all his health back, which is great because he was down 2, and we'll look at that as well. Okay, here is one of the precious stones. There's some polished stones that come in the game. He gets to put that here. He now has his precious stone and can go fight the Nameless. In addition to that, you see he was wounded. He only had 2 health left out of 4. He gets those 2 back. And now we got to go back to the table because he does have to defeat the thief as well. But his main mission has been completed. He has returned Daphne to the convent where she belongs, and he is well on his way. So defeating the thief will be quite easy. He's got 5 dice to do it with, and he doesn't have any modifiers, so he just has to roll a 7 or less on 5 dice. Let's see if he can pull that off. That's kind of close. Lowest he got was a 6, but it was enough. So he did manage to pull a 6 off, which means he defeats the thief. The thief gives him 3 more gold, and the thief goes back in the bag. But before we do that, and I will put the gold on his sheet, we do have to draw a new tile. We got another minion of the Nameless that's going to go on space G2. This is making it interesting. There's lots of things now that we have to contend with on the board, and the thief goes back in the bag. And our hero fighter gains 3 more gold pieces. He's definitely going to go start that market and go buy some stuff. He's going to beef up because he can. Anyway, that is going to end his turn. So now we're going to go on to Sybil Spellsinger. Now, if you remember from last turn, Sybil tried to take her broom to go all the way up there to where her quest is, and the broom decided to take her to the witch's house. Luckily, there's no witch there currently to do anything about that. So, but she is going to try and use her broom again, her broomstick, and remember we have to roll a die if we roll a 1. I mean, she could also just move 4 spaces, but, well, you know, that might be okay, and then use her broomstick next time. That might be a little more safe, since the path is clear. She could go 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's not very far compared to where she needs to go. So she is going to use her broom, and she's going to fly straight up over to here. We have to go to the dice bowl and roll. If we roll a 1, she will have a problem. Okay, let's see if she gets unlucky twice with the broom. Wow, she is having some bad luck with the broom there. She is going back to the witch's house again. The broom just wants to go home, apparently. So we're going to go put her back at the witch's house. So this is wasted turn 2 for her. She pops back here to the witch's house on space 2, and the end of her turn. She is probably having the worst luck of any character in the game so far. She's got lots of tasks, lots of things she can do. She just can't get there. Anyway, we're going to move on to Grow Frosthammer, who's moving to complete his quest, which is going to take him a little time. He's got to go pretty far. Here's Grow right here. He's wandering around the capital city. But the next thing he's going to do is go take on this gentleman here, one of the Nameless's minions. You can see that it requires an archery roll of -1, which is going to be a 4 for him. He may take his second wound doing this, but he's got to get through there, so he doesn't have much of a choice. We're going to go to the bowl and see if we can roll a 4 or less. Pretty tough roll. We'll take it back. He's still only going to need a 5 or less because he's got that bow, which gives him a 6 in archery, not a 5. Let's see if Grow gets lucky. He's got to roll 2 dice. He doesn't have... Wait. Nope. He has 3 dice. 3 dice, and he needs to roll a 5 or less on 3 dice. He cannot pull it off because each one was a 5, but he was close. So he failed, which means he's going to take a wound, and that nameless minion will stay there. Okay, he took his second wound. He's still got 3 left. He's the one with the most wounds. But he's still doing alright, so he's just got to keep trekking. Now we're going to move on to Eleanor. Here's Eleanor. She's got quite a journey ahead of her. First off, she wants to go to Donhoboro to fulfill one of her tasks, and then she's got to go up and visit the gnomes here. Wait, is she the gnomes? Yeah, the gnomes right here to deliver to them the silver hammer so she can get the axe and then take the axe home. That's going to be interesting as well. She's got a lot of trekking to do because she has to go pretty far south again to get back to her house. But let's do her moves. She can move 3, so she's going to simply go 1, 2, and 3, and that's going to end her move for the turn. She's close to Donhoboro. She'll get there next turn. So we're back around to Aegon Stormblade, who has completed all of his missions. All his main mission. He's still got ones on the table for himself, and he might go ahead to do the White Stag one because that's... Well, he has a couple things going on. He could go up to the market. He's not going to get there this turn, but he could get pretty close to the big market. And if he can open that market, it's going to give him a lot of stuff. So I think that's what we're going to do first. Might give him an item that can help him travel faster. He can also go to the cart market and get a cart. Let's see. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. Well, that will take him to the cart. Let me see what the cart does exactly again. I've got to refresh my memory. He may want to do that. I'm not sure yet. That cart extends his movement to 6. He's got plenty of money. I don't know how he can pass that up. So he's going to purchase the cart from the cart maker for 4 gold, which still leaves him a big wad of gold, but there's his money. And he will take the cart, which will give him a 6, not this turn, but will give him a 6 movement. Going forward, he's still going to go up to that market and have a field day with the market. But here's his cart. Now, the cart cannot enter a red secret space like the one he needed to get into the temple. So, for instance, he's got this little mission. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see it. To take him right here, but to get there from this direction where he's coming from, he'd have to go through this red space, and the cart cannot go through the spaces. However, he can leave it there, heading into that space, and come back and get it. But so can other players, so it puts it a little bit at risk. But for the meantime, he's got the cart that will allow him some faster movement. Now we're going to get on to the next turn for Sybil Spellsinger. Well, Sybil's pretty darn frustrated at this broom. But she's going to do it again. I mean, she's got to get way up there, so she's going to rush as fast as she can. I think, yeah, she's going to go, doesn't matter where she goes to on this board, but she's going to go right there with the broom, and we're going to go back and roll, hopefully she doesn't roll a 1 for a 3rd time in a row. Okay, let's see if she does. That would be pretty hilarious. No, she rolled a 6 this time, so she makes it there just fine. So that was all that she really gets to do. Now, we got our dwarf. Now, he's got a couple of choices. He can go to the right and try and circle around to get all the way up north to where his mission is, where he needs to return the relic to, where does he go to? He has to go to the mysterious chapel, which is where he is. Oh, he has to return home. So that's way up in the top corner of the mountains. At this point, and this is what this tells us, his relic. He just needs to bring it home, and he gets to leave the relic at his house and get his cool gem. So he's got quite a trek ahead of him. I guess it doesn't really matter which way he heads, but this is probably a safer bet since we don't even know what this is. He's going to move to 4, so he's only going to move 1 this turn of 2. And it is another task, so let's see what this is. Find the statue at G5, okay. G5, okay, it's right above him. Oh yeah, the statue, I see it. Statuette. It gives him a gold. He can bring that to the kingdom, J5, to that's the main city, and get an amulet, a magic amulet. So he'll probably pick that up on his way. Maybe it's kind of out of the way. It's in a weird spot, but it's up north that way. So anyway, that's going to end his turn. Now we're going to go to Eleanor. Eleanor is heading back to visit his friend Don Hoboro, who he's tried to train with twice. She's going to go 1, 2, and go to Don Hoboro. But this time, things are a little different for her. She gets to do this. See if you can read it there. Yeah. He's going to instruct her in ranged combat. So on a 1 to 4, she's going to get a +2. On a 5 to 10 on 2 dice, she's going to get a +1. And I guess on an 11 to 12, she gets nothing. But let's go do that task for her and see if she can win some skill with Don Hoboro. Might be Don Hobiro. I'm not sure. But let's see. 2 dice. Wait, how do you roll a 1 to 4? He instructs you. I need to look this one up. How do you roll a 1 to 4 on 2 dice? Anyway, I'm going to look up the mission for Don Hobiro and see what it's got. Okay. So what it means is that if your current skill is a 1 to 4, then it's going to go up by 2. If it's between 5 and 10, it's going to go up by 1. Well, hers is a 7, so it's going to go up by 1. Let me show you what we do there. Okay, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take this number 8 now, and we're going to place it right there. So she now has an 8 or less to shoot archery, and Don Hobiro has fulfilled his needs to her, though he still is on the board because his tile still has a special ability that has not been activated yet, which is someone else can go there and try. But we did turn in a tile, so we do need to put one out on the board. And this is going to be our friendly orc, which I think I'm going to put someplace out of the way, maybe down at the farthest edges of the board. Remember, with those we can just put them away, but her that task is done, which means it's removed from the game. She no longer has any tasks, and she can just get on with her main mission at this point until she acquires another. So that's going to end a second phase. We've been doing them in 3s, so I'm going to continue on with Aegon Stormblade. Aegon's pretty excited. He's going to get to kick off this big market. But he could move 6, but he's only going to move 1, 2 to here. And we're going to kick off this big market here. It's 6 tiles. So let me go draw 6 market tiles at random. There is some kind of one-time archery scroll spell. Boots. These boots are made for walking. Third one is the armor suit, or armored coat, which is pretty good and doesn't have, it only adds 1 health, but it does not have a modifier to movement. A potion which can be used 3 times to gain a health. A sword, God, he'd love this. That gives him a +1 into his combat. And a bow. So he says to himself, well, I am going to first, does he want armor or does he want a weapon first? Now the cart cannot be combined with other items for movement, so I don't know that he's going to take the boots, but it's a debate between this armor or the sword. I think the sword, because if he can kill it, he doesn't need the armor. The sword is only -1. Now since he is the buyer, he doesn't commission himself. He just spends the gold. So we're going to spend the gold, and he is going to take that sword. Now at this point, the other players would be negotiating with him to try and get the next, like, the item that they want. Now Eleanor says, "God, I really want that bow. I want to buy that bow." So he says, "Okay, Eleanor, I'll sell you the bow for 1 gold." Now, since it's we're only valued at 1 gold, the commission for the gold goes up to Aegon, but Eleanor gets to take this bow, which permanently increases her, as long as she has it, permanently increases her now archery ability to 9. She is a machine. Now, the dwarf doesn't have any money, so he says, "I'm not buying nothing." Sybil has a couple of gold. She sure could use this armored suit. She says, "I will buy the armored suit." He says, "Okay, you got it, lady, and you have a spot for it in your stuff." So he buys the armored suit, or she buys the armored suit for 2 gold, 1 of which goes to Aegon, so he's happy camper. And we do get to sell off all the items. Now, it's getting to the point where the other people can't buy anything. He's the only one left that can buy anything, and he is going to buy this for 2 gold, which he will then, well, he's full right now, so but he can use it later, 3 times as a matter of fact, to increase 1. So yeah, he'll buy that for 2, and that's going to set him up pretty nicely to go after the Nameless as he heads north, because that's just 2 more gold. He still has 2 gold left after that, and he's in good shape. The other 2 items are going to go back to the market. Nobody bought them. Okay, we got to draw something out of the bag here. Let's see what we get. The Duel of Mages. Okay, so this is another event similar to the archery tournament and the joust that we had, but this is the Duel of Mages. Does the same thing. So this is going to be a great chance for Sybil to gain some experience. We have to make 2 magic attack rolls, 1 with no modifier and 1 with a -1. If we succeed at both, we get 2 magical experience. So let's go to the bowl and start right now with Aegon, since it's still the end of his turn. Okay, so first off with this, we'll put this right here. We're going to roll for Aegon Stormhammer. He's got a 3. I doubt he's going to be able to do anything. No, he failed. So now we're going to go on to Sybil Spellsinger. Okay, in Sybil's first roll, she needs a 7. She makes it exactly. And on the second roll, she needs a 6. She rolled a 5, so she succeeds. That's going to give her 2 experience in magic. And I'm going to go place those on her board so I don't miss it. And then we will get on with the other 2 characters. So she's now got a third die roll finally to her magic when she rolls, and heading on to a 4th. So next up we have our dwarf Grove, sorry. He's got a 3 as well. He's not likely to make it. He rolled 11. Eleanor has a 4. She's still only got 2 dice. Let's see what she does. She did not succeed either. So the only one that succeeded at this was our mage, Sybil Spellsinger. And now we'll go on to Sybil's turn. So here's Sybil. She's not 100% sure she wants to brave the broom again. She's got to get up to where, get up to this gentleman here. That's Grantus, the satyr, and she's trying to bring in the panpipes. Seems like an easier job than it should be. She's got a movement of 3 right now, but she's also got boots, so she's got 4. So she can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and almost make it there. And she can swing around 8 and then back to 4 next turn and get there. So that is going to end her turn. Now we got to go to Grow and see how he progresses in his movement. Poor Grow, he's just not very fast. Yeah, he's got to go to K5. Well, he's on K, so you could try to go to K5 first. And it's taking him way out of his way, but if he does that, he's going to get a combat experience and a gold for bringing for doing this one, which is sorry, totally dropped that. Be brave and search the village of the lizard people. Well, he's brave and he knows that the lizard people have been slain. So by Eleanor. So he's going to go 1, 2. Now next turn he's got to make a roll for that. I think he has the ability to always find hidden. That's a swamp path, so that's not going to help him. He's going to have to find that path next turn to get across there as he makes his way towards spot 5. Okay, well, Eleanor's there visiting Don Hobro, and she just has to return home. She doesn't want to go through the giant, though, so which way is she going to go? She has a choice of a giant or a minion and then coming around this direction. Of course, she's got to make a 5. Well, Yeah, she's going to roll a 5 just to get into the castle. She can, well, she's not going to brave the giant. That's too hard. She will lose health there, and she's already down 1. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3. She doesn't have any money. She's not going to counter the market. She wants to leave it there. And that's as far as she gets because her suit reduces her by 1. So she's going to head across that way and through the, hopefully through the castle and back south. I mean, she's got a couple areas she's going to have to get through going that direction, but it is what it is. Well, she could go north and try and get to that gate or something that's up there. No, she's going to just have to take the long, adventurous way around. So let's continue on. By the way, that was Eleanor, so that was the end of our 3rd round, and that's going to end our play session for this turn. The other players are sweating it because they know that our warrior is actually going to go this next turn to get the, or not next turn, but he is definitely heading toward the Nameless. He's got a sword, which gives him an 8 on his attack. He rolls 5 dice. He can certainly take out some minions and some other things there on his way, and he's gonna. So, well, he's gonna try, rather. We will see how it goes. Now, the guards in there, they all are focused on a different stat, so we'll see. Hopefully he'll get lucky and attack the right one. We'll have to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.